I have this question here about something that you mentioned earlier, where it says that people are the ones who drive the process. And this person said, what about AI? How does a change when implementing AI drive your argument for leading change versus managing change?
Yeah. You know, that's a really good question that I frankly do not have a good answer for, because again, it depends on how that AI is being used. So I would need a little bit more detail to speak intelligently about the question. But, you know, I would fall back to my perspective of, in general, right? Whatever it is you're doing is impacting people. And unless you're going to run the whole organization using artificial intelligence and no longer have people there, then I'm going to come down on the side of the things we've talked about today, right? That no matter how much technology you bring to bear, unless it's going to 100% replace the people, it's still going to come down to people. And so I think all of these concepts still apply, but I would need to be more involved in the specifics around that discussion within a specific organization. Funny, right? So back in the 80s, I worked for a president who had a vision that all he would need to run a factory would be a dog and a guard. That would be all he would need, would be a dog and a guard. And the guard was there to feed the dog, and the dog was there to make sure the guard didn't screw around with any of the machinery. So, you know, we've even as far back as the 80s, right? Some folks have had this perception of well, we could replace people in the organization, and I'm sure AI will displace many, but yeah, I think I would still come down on the page of, at some level, there's going to be people involved. And if you're not caring about those people, they ain't going to care about you or the organization, right? They're going to go through the motions. They're going to be disengaged. And actually, some of them will try to sabotage anything you're doing, right? Which in that number of 70+% of disengaged people sits a pool of about 15% that are actively, they're not just cognitively and emotionally disengaged, they are actively sabotaging the organization.